Welcome to the Lifestyle Medicine Update. I'm Dr. James Meschino. An important study was published in December 2022 in the journal Aging Cell, showing that oral supplementation with a type of vitamin B3 or niacin product known as Nicotinamide Ribose crosses the blood-brain barrier and exerts important effects on processes involved in preventing the development of Alzheimer's disease. Really important research. So nicotinamide ribose is typically synthesized in the body from the ingestion of niacin, vitamin B3. But ultimately, the body converts niacin and its derivatives like nicotinamide ribose into NAD, which is required for energy production in most body cells, including the brain. But NAD is also required to turn on the activity of longevity genes known as sirtuin genes and to activate PARP enzymes which repair DNA damage in most body cells, including brain cells. So the point is that niacin and niacin derivatives like nicotinamide ribose, when we ingest them, they raise NAD levels in all the body cells, including the brain, required for energy production, but also to turn on what are known as sirtuin longevity genes and also PARP enzymes which repair DNA damage. The problem is that as we age, brain levels of NAD decline quite substantially. So not only can't the brain generate optimal amounts of energy, but the function of sirtuin genes and the PARP enzymes also begins to falter. And one of the ways that we can raise brain levels of NAD appears to be by taking nicotinamide ribose supplements daily, according to the December 2022 study. So how is a decline in NAD linked to Alzheimer's disease? Well, sirtuin enzymes, which require NAD, act like epigenetic switches that modulate other genes in brain cells, helping to reduce brain inflammation and to prevent the synthesis of beta amyloid plaque and the coalescing of tau protein into neurofibrillary tangles. Three hallmark features of Alzheimer's disease include brain inflammation, the synthesis of amyloid plaque, and the breakdown and coalescing of tau protein into neurofibrillary tangles. So higher NAD levels in the brain can help to prevent these three steps. That seems to be the current thinking. Now, there's no question that higher brain levels of NAD can help the brain maintain more optimal energy production, and evidence strongly suggests that higher NAD brain levels help to prevent or slow these important Alzheimer's disease-related processes. So the question has been, can we increase NAD levels in the brain later in life, and will that help to prevent the development of amyloid plaque and neurofibrillary tangles and brain inflammation? Well, the 2020 study in the journal Aging Cell has given us some encouraging results on this matter. So these researchers showed that providing 22 healthy older adults with 500 milligrams a day of nicotinamide ribose supplementation, actually they gave them 500 milligrams of nicotinamide ribose twice daily for 6 weeks. And it resulted in lower biomarkers of inflammation, amyloid plaque, and tau protein breakdown in the plasma of these patients. More specifically, the researchers measured these effects in the blood in what are known as extracellular vesicles from neuronal origin. That means that these particular particles in the blood that originate in the brain provided an indirect measurement of brain inflammation, amyloid plaque buildup, and also the development of tau protein breakdown. After 6 weeks of nicotinamide ribose supplementation, these 22 older subjects showed significant declines in all three of these important blood markers for Alzheimer's disease. Now, this is very encouraging indeed, and the next step is to provide patients with existing cognitive impairment with nicotinamide ribose supplementation to see if it can reverse early-stage memory loss, which is often the prelude into Alzheimer's disease. So these studies are being conducted by the Delaware Center of Cognitive Aging and Research. Now, as an aside, it may be possible to raise brain levels of NAD by supplementing with just vitamin B3 nicotinamide or another derivative known as nicotinamide mononucleotide, NMN. NMN is also a very popular supplement these days. All three of these supplements, nicotinamide ribose, nicotinamide and nicotinamide mononucleotide, or NMN, show promise in raising NAD levels in the body. But the 2022 study in the journal Aging Cell has confirmed that nicotinamide ribose crosses the blood-brain barrier and appears to inhibit key processes linked to Alzheimer's disease development. Now, I'll just add that simply taking a B50 complex during all of adult life, which would contain 50 milligrams of niacin or vitamin B3, has shown promise already in preventing Alzheimer's disease. We saw this in the Chicago Rush Institute study of thousands of people living in the Chicago area, the ones that were getting 40 to 50 milligrams of niacin a day, primarily from supplementation. The incidence of Alzheimer's disease was significantly lower. So you might just need niacin itself to help prevent this condition. I personally take a high-potency multiple vitamin each day that contains, it's antioxidant enriched, but also contains a B50 complex, which would include 50 milligrams of niacin. I think most people should consider doing that. I'm not sure that healthy adults need to take 500 milligrams of nicotinamide ribose twice daily to prevent Alzheimer's disease. This is a very high daily dose, and I'm quite sure that future research will show that the prevention effects can be accomplished with lower doses of niacin, nicotinamide ribose, or nicotinamide mononucleotide. In fact, sublingual supplements of these niacin products are likely going to prove to be a great delivery system for these particular nutrients, because sublingual administration enables you to take much lower doses because the active ingredients are absorbed right into the bloodstream, right into the capillaries in the oral cavity, without being degraded by stomach acids, intestinal enzymes, or being broken down by liver detoxification enzymes right after they get absorbed. So I'll explain more about sublingual nutrient delivery in a future episode, but for today, I want you to appreciate that niacin supplementation, vitamin B3, and some of its downstream metabolites, like nicotinamide ribose and nicotinamide mononucleotide, are all showing great promise in helping to prevent Alzheimer's disease. But I've included the reference for nicotinamide ribose in the journal Aging Cell in the text below, because that's the most recent study that we've seen, and it's very, very impressive. So take a look at that if you're interested in this subject. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.